All right, Phoenix, Arizona. Dr. Ben Carson speaking right now as he warms up the crowd there, which is pretty excited to see the president there tonight. It's created a lot of commotion. The mayor in Phoenix didn't want this event to happen. Harlan Hill, Scott Bolden, and Ford O'Connell are back with me. And guys, we've seen lots of protesters already out there in the streets. You see Antifa out there in their black costumes. They're covering their faces forward, not even showing who they are, and ranting. We couldn't entirely make out what they were saying, but they were being very vocal and very loud because as far as they're concerned, it's okay to fight Donald Trump with violence. What,
but look,
how do you deal with a group like that?
Well, I think we have to listen to Professor Alan Dershowitz, who you had on your show, I believe, earlier today. And basically, both sides have to call out the fringe elements among them. But that's not going to happen because the Dems like where this is going. They like stoking the politics of fear and Trump derangement syndrome. To them, basically, the ends justify the means. And unfortunately, we're tearing ourselves apart as a country because we have someone who's duly elected as president, and both sides aren't going to go to their corners and do what's right. They're going to continue fighting.
Scott, however,
Trish,
believes that we live in a really, really bad place, a racist country that elected Donald Trump because somehow it's racist enough to want someone like that as our president. I mean, this is what you were telling us earlier.
Well, Trish,
so continue
that's not exactly
your thoughts.
what
I want Harlan to weigh in.
That wasn't exactly what I said. We certainly live in a great country, and we live in an imperfect country. But I will tell you this. I don't think the Dems or the Republicans ought to be condoning violence. And my colleague on the other side who just got done talking, I don't think the Dems want to identify with Antifa. I certainly don't, because it damages the message of the left and the record of Donald Trump, at least in my opinion.
I got to disagree with you because you're interested in creating spectacle fear for people to watch on TV.
Violence?
That's absolutely right. Why wouldn't you call them out? Let me tell you something. If Antifa was on the right, if we didn't call out Antifa right now. But it's not just Antifa, Scott. It's also folks like Maxine Waters, who wants to call Ben Carson a white nationalist.
She speaks her opinion.
Howard Dean telling us that if we vote Republican, we're racist. You guys love to keep this going.
Wow. Look, we just have about a minute left in the segment, but so I want to get you into the conversation, Harlan. A woman down in Missouri actually called for Trump to be assassinated. She wants our president assassinated. And then she doubled it. It took her a while to actually apologize for this, but she still won't resign.
Yeah.
Why aren't Democrats coming out one after another and condemning that behavior? Because that's sort of Antifa, right? That's violence.
Yeah.
And she's trying to incite it.
As we saw in Alexandria with the attempted assassination of multiple members of Congress, this isn't theoretical. Violence from the left against people on the right, it's not theoretical. It has happened before, and it's just a matter of time before people lose their lives. And I pray tonight that we don't. But the level of discourse in this country, like we've just seen, is really troubling because we have real problems in this country. Real Americans are suffering under the weight of Obamacare, under the burden of regulation, under the burden of taxes, and they're suffering while we're sitting here and we're talking about identity politics. And the Democrats haven't offered any solutions to these problems. It is so frustrating.
Other than the right is bad, Republicans are bad,
or
Donald
racist,
Trump is bad. Yeah, I mean, as I've been saying throughout, there is really nothing that you can say worse about someone. Dr. Alveda King is going to be joining us on this. Is she here with us now? I'm just asking the control room. Oh, no, she's coming to the stage. She'll be joining us later this evening. Dr. Alveda King, she is the niece of Martin Luther King Jr. She's coming to the stage there. She has been talking about the importance of unity right now. She is a great voice for everyone there to hear from. Dr. Ben Carson, Alveda King, these are people that are talking about bringing us together right now as a nation, Harlan, as opposed to getting bogged down in that horrendous discourse that does no one any good.
And you know what? The president likes to blame the media for a lot of this. But I finally believe that he's right. Because I listened to another network with one of their leading primetime anchors say that anybody that continues to defend this administration, anybody that continues to work in this administration, including the generals, They are tacitly endorsing racism. That was a quote. He said, anybody that continues to work for them is tacitly endorsing racism. The level of discourse in this country has never been worse, and it's going to lead to violence. And I have to agree with the president that some of that is on the hands of the mainstream media in this country, and it is dangerous.
Well said. Thank you very much. Harlan Hill, Scott, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you as well to Ford. President